Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this Monday edition of NMH at 1. I am your host, Priska Agnolo, and as always, I'm super excited to get the show on the road. So we kick off today's broadcast with footage shot by Ohone Tlache over the weekend of an independent Patriots for Change media conference. The party's chairperson, Brian Black, was speaking, and he questioned the effectiveness of older opposition parties in terms of fighting corruption. The IPC, formed by former independent presidential candidate Dr. Panduleni Itula, will be competing in the upcoming local and regional authority elections for the very first time.
A number of our supporters keep on asking the question, but why IPC? Why not one of the existing official parties within the government? Fellow Namibians, we have to be realistic and we have to not fool ourselves. The reality is, if you look at the official opposition parties in parliament or in the National Council, with the exception of, I think, EFF and the Landless People's Movement from Mr. Swartboy, all the other opposition parties have been either in parliament or in the National Council since independence. The question is, what did they achieve during that period? How effective? How is it possible that we could have all these rot, with opposition parties in parliament? So the reality is, as much as we want to work with them, we are prepared to help and strengthen their capacity to fight corruption and crime. But we don't believe that they are the ideal platform for us to use in order to achieve the Namibian dream of fighting corruption. And that's why we came up with the IPC. And as my colleague have already alluded to, we are open-minded. We realize that we need the input, help of each and every Namibian in order to defeat SWAPO. And I'm not ashamed. To me, the aim is defeating SWAPO at the ballot this year, and to take over the National Council so that they cannot run and mess with our country the way they have been doing. And to me, that only party that can assist the Namibian people in achieving their dream is IPC.
And staying with politics, SWAPO Secretary General Sophia Shaningwa says she holds no grudges and that she simply does her job by the book. Shaningwa was responding to allegations of her being biased against the party's Kavango East Party leadership after she directed that Governor Bonifacius Wakudumo relinquish his position as regional mobilizer, while in the case of Kara's Governor Aleta Fredericks, she has seemingly been left in her dual role as SWAPO regional organizer. She spoke to Kenya Kamboy.
Okay, so basically, you don't have any agenda against Kavango East. That's the feeling that we are getting from them. Say that no, you are treating Kavango East differently from the way you, because they say they don't have a problem if you deal with both regions the same way. But now they feel like yes.
Listen here, the policy of SWAPO party doesn't discriminate.
Yes.
And when I'm writing letters to any region, I'm not writing letters as Sophia Shaningwa.
Yes.
If you get a promotion in SWAPO party in accordance with the SWAPO party policy,
yes,
you were supposed to keep up the lower position.
Yes.
And this is what I found is not what Sophia Shaningwa has generated, and that must be very clear.
Okay.
And people must also stop defying my name. I don't like that.
Okay. So you have.
They must read what the policy of the party is saying. It's not what Sophia Shaningwa is saying.
Okay.
What happened with that?
So,
Am I now the policy
so,
of SWAPO party?
but what
the policy of SWAPO party is documented, is written.
Yes.
And it's not in the face of Sophia Shaningwa. They must stop doing those type of things.
So you have nothing against Kavango East.
Listen here, I don't have anything against any person.
Yes.
For that matter.
Okay.
I
Okay, so you're just implementing the constitution of the party.
Of course, yes.
Okay.
But
No,
in fact, what I am implementing what is written in the policy of the party.
okay.
And I want to repeat myself that the policy of the party indicates so, and it's not what I brought, it's what I found having been implemented and documented. It's not my policy.
Okay, so basically,
And now
you
we
don't
finally move on to our COVID-19 news. By Saturday, Namibia recorded 11,033 cases of COVID-19. The country's recovery rate stands at around 80% and the fatality rate at 1.09%. Close to 90,000 individuals have been tested for the coronavirus since March. This number excludes the retesting of about 5,300 persons. On average, 983 tests were processed per day during the 7 days up to Saturday. During the week before that, the daily average tests were 1,293. Sunday's data will be announced later today. The number of people in quarantine has again increased to more than 1,000. On Saturday, 182 people, that is, entered quarantine, while 170 were discharged. At the moment, Namibia is recording an average of 94 new infections per day. An average of 106 recoveries were recorded daily for the week ending on Saturday. More than 250 contacts of confirmed cases are on average traced each day, and an average of 145 people are entering formal quarantine facilities daily, compared to an average discharge rate of 105 people per day. Let's go for a quick ad break, and I'll be right back with more video inserts for today. And in our next footage, Oshodanjupa Governor James Worikua has urged the Grootfontein municipality to do everything possible to ensure that service delivery is not delayed or denied to residents. The governor has had to intervene in the affairs of the municipality after so-called administrative differences brought the council to a standstill. This footage was shot by Esther Kamati at a media conference in Grootfontein.
There are administrative related issues that actually hampers the functionality of the municipality, the lack of the council to sit, and of course other land related matters within Grootfontein municipality, and finally the projections of the future development of the Grootfontein municipality into a town of the future in line with the national development plans of the Republic of Namibia. Having had our discussions and meeting, we have taken a resolution on an advisory basis that I have passed on to the municipality, noting that according to the Local Authority Act number 23 of 1992, and of course as amended, local authority, the municipality of Grootfontein is autonomous, and it has a fully functional council that sits and take laws and take decisions. And so those decisions are actually the laws that governs the very institution. On an advisory basis that I have accorded to them and having consulted them, we have agreed on a number of issues. One of them, when council failed to convene, the masses in terms of the community are actually denied service delivery. And that is a cause of concern to everybody in Oshodanjupa region, and specifically myself as the governor responsible, and of course the municipal council.
And on a much happier note, Nehumbo Senior Secondary School in Omusati region took on the Jerusalema Challenge. Jerusalema Challenge, that is. Namibia Media Holdings is challenging you, your friends, and your company to also join in on the fun. So up for grabs are 6 tickets to see the man behind the song, Master KG himself, perform live at the Namibia Tourism Expo on Thursday, the 5th of November. So all you have to do is send a clip of your Jerusalema Challenge using the hashtag Jerusalema. So that's hashtag Jerusalema to 0811. That is 0811 700080. That's 0811 700080. And we'll share it on the Windhoek Express Facebook page. And good luck to everyone who is definitely going to enter.
Jerusalema, ikhaya lami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Jerusalema, ikhaya lami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami, zungangishilana. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze, zuhambe nami. Dawo yami ayikholana, buso wami awukholana. Ilondoloze,
And now we move on to our newspaper dailies for today. And in the NMH stable, Namibian Sun reports that social media sensation Lucas Irivari Tsamseb's teacher is worried that he is worse off than when he initially arrived at Ondera Primary School in the Oshikoto region in February. Among the factors mentioned by Lena Nakatana is that community members frequently buy him alcohol to entertain themselves, digging a deeper hole, so to speak, and making it extremely hard to rehabilitate him. Republican reports that the tourism industry needs more clarity on the new COVID-19 regulations as it attempts to battle back from shocking declines amid the pandemic. And Algemeine Zeitung reports that Prime Minister Sarah Kukongelwa Madila has leapt to the defense of Defense Minister Peter Villo, whose recent comments about white businesses, including that they got rich off the bones of blacks, landed him in hot water. The Namibian reports that fish rod corruption whistleblower Johanna Stephenson says the decision to move Police Chief Investigator Nelius Becker from the Namibian Police's Investigations Department was an attempt to damage and silence investigations in Namibia. A New Era reports that Ovaherero Paramount Chief Vekui Rikoro says their fight with colonial power Germany over the 1904 to 1908 genocide is far from over, despite last week's ruling by the U.S. Court of Appeals in New York that threw out an appeal by the Ovaherero and Nama who sued the German government over atrocities committed in Namibia. And now we move on to the inside pages of the country's dailies. The Agriculture Ministry needs additional resources to the tune of 30 million Namibian dollars to effectively combat a red locust invasion. A total of 4,002 square meters of land in the Zambezi region has been invaded by the pests, with 500 hectares of grazing land destroyed so far. Republican reports that with an estimated 61 tons of human feces plus household trash dumped in Windhoek's informal settlement open areas every day, residents from the Samora Machel and Moses Garagaro I'm sorry for the pronunciation if I got that wrong, constituencies recently took part in a cleanup campaign aimed at restoring their dignity, health and safety. The Namibian reports that the National Petroleum Corporation of Namibia's Board of Directors has discussed whether to extend Managing Director Emmanuel Malunga's contract. An Allgemeine Zeitung reports that the SPCA in Swakopmund has applied for more funding from the local municipality to take care of stray animals, but the request was shot down. A New Era reports that Prime Minister Sarah Kukongelwa Amadila says government will spare no effort in ensuring that Namibians will have a decent place to call home. And in other news, the Namibian Sun, page 5, and the Namibian Sun reports that Irongo Governor Neville Andre has warned that the lifting of the state of emergency by President Hage Geingob recently does not imply that Namibia has won the fight against COVID-19. And Republican reports that a Pakistani national on bail for human trafficking and rape and a Walvis Bay police officer were arrested in Swakopmund after allegedly bribing a prosecutor with nearly 60,000 Namibian dollars. And on that note, that is it for today. Please do stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay tuned for the weather as well.